Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Created From Natural Energy. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for their story tips coming your way over on Anime King and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, every single day. You have not misheard that, guys. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. Turn on that bell notification, see exactly when I post. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get straight into this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto tossed with Reiga. The man stood no chance, as Naruto obliterated him. He then came back to said village, only to find out that Tsunade had already been nominated as a Hokage as she was sitting in a chair, as he greeted her. But she still wanted to go out drinking tonight. Despite her being a Hokage now, she told him that she was now in charge so she could do what she liked. So Naruto obliged. Some time passed as Jiraiya was rather confused. He wanted to take Naruto on a 3-year training trip, but Tsunade was against this as she said that she wanted to train Naruto herself, as she had a lot to teach him. As Jiraiya, after a while, obliged, as long as she make him strong enough to be able to defend himself against the S-rank opponents that were coming very soon. So with that she spoke to Naruto, as he was happy to oblige as well. The first thing she taught him was the Shadow Jutsu, and then she had Shizune focus on more of his off-brand training while she get to the main stuff. And just like that, the 3 years slowly ticked by. Sasuke was gone, as Ino and Shikamaru had told him that. Ino said that Sakura was very upset, but Naruto did not know who that was. It's not that he cared about Sasuke anyways, but he left and went to Orochimaru. So with that out of the way, Naruto continued to train. And as the time went by, he found himself infatuated with Shizune, as something happened between the both of them and they started to go out. As Tsunade kept on teasing Shizune on this, who was rather embarrassed. But the more time passed, the more she warmed up Naruto. So with that, the years ticked by, as Naruto kept on training as Tsunade came to the point where she could not train him anything else, as he had perfected everything. So with that, he had completed her training. Through the 3 years, Naruto had become her personal guard, as he went with her on almost all diplomatic missions. Everywhere she went, he was there, protecting her no matter what. And now they were going off to the sand. It seems that the Shikaku had been reformed, so they made their way towards the sand as Naruto met the new Kazekage. But he wasn't in the relationship blood. After all, Kazekages were always nominated through the bloodline. So Temari took over once she was able to, as she was still holding a small grudge against Naruto, it seems, for slaughtering her brother. But when Naruto laid out the facts, she had nothing to say. So with that, Tsunade and her spoke, as they talk about their dealings, and not to mention with the Akatsuki, as Konoha wanted to apply help so the Akatsuki could not get their hands on the Bijus. Deidara and Sasori though attacked. As the group came in, Naruto was the first one to reach out there, as Deidara took the One Piece along. So with that, Naruto faced off against Sasori. Sasori threw everything he had, but Naruto dodged everything. And his inhumane strength and not to mention power, he was able to completely eradicate Sasori. So with that, they kept on moving, as they ran into Itachi and Kisame. Itachi was able to subdue them and the others that simple genjutsu, while Tsunade went after Kisame as Naruto took on Itachi. Finishing the man off, Naruto moved on, as he went to find Tsunade, who was just returning, as she had crushed Kisame but he was a fake. They woke up the team from the sand as they arrived towards the massive boulder, as Naruto was able to disable the seal, only for Tsunade to shatter it to pieces. Once they entered, Naruto disrupt the sealing process. The leader had Deidara leave because he would have surely been killed. But now the one tails that was much more smaller started to go crazy that it was free, as it started to create a rampage over the place. As Naruto chains wrapped it around butt, Kurama then spoke to Naruto and told him to enter his mindscape, which he did. As the one tail started to settle down as well, its consciousness also being pulled to the mindscape. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So, this will begin this new episode. I swear, if anything go wrong out there, you're dead meat, Kyuubi, said Naruto. If you stop shouting like a mindless ape and look around you, you will realize what happened, said the Kyuubi. Following what the Kyuubi had said, Naruto looked beside him as he fell over on his rear. Why, you may ask? Because the one-tailed beast was right beside him, and it was looking quite pissed off. You did not seal me inside of you, did you? Said Shikaku in a growl. He did not, as things are. He's bound to me, said the Kyuubi. Kurama, said Shikaku. As the Shikaku burst out laughing. It is so great to see the great nine-tail in the clutches of a human. Stop laughing like a lunatic. For your knowledge, I can break out of here at any time, but I chose to be here. And why is that? Asked Shikaku. He's a sage, a perfect one, not seen since the first and then Hoshirama. I am interested to see what he can do firsthand, said the Kyuubi. A sage, you say? Said Shikaku. Yes, he actually used Senjutsu to fight your previous jailer, said the Kyuubi. So this is the same brat that shortened my entertainment time back then. Shut up, said the Kyuubi. You know what to do, don't you? How do you know he's the one, said Shikaku. I do not. On the contrary, I am pretty sure that he's not the one that the sage had idealized. You have to accept that he was too optimistic. The last one, the first Hokage, used his power to suppress us. He was too idealistic, and his personality led to 3 wars and a century of us being in prison. As things are, we lack time. Someone has discovered how to seal us away in the Gedo statue. And he's probably the only one who I can trust with those powers, said the Kyuubi. I see, said Shikaku, as he looked towards Naruto in a scrutinizing way. Naruto, on the other hand, was completely out of the loop. He did not understand what the two beasts were talking about. And apparently the Kyuubi had a name. Kurama? Naruto asked. You never told me you had a name, said Naruto. You never asked for it, regardless. That is not what we're here for. Then why are we here, said Naruto. Shikaku, said Kurama. Fine, said Shikaku. As he raised his paw and made a fist of it, realizing the gesture, Naruto bumped fists with the giant raccoon. Time skip. It was quite an awkward scenario, 6 humans traveling on foot, with a giant raccoon behind them, as Shikaku was constantly growing in size, back to what he truly was. After some of his power had been sucked out by the Gedo statue, he had accepted to stay in the sand territory, as long as he wasn't caged away. And well, the Kazekage was not against it, so here they were, traveling with a walking Biju. Time skip. So, Kazekage-sama, how much do I get out of this, said Naruto, as he held onto the head of sorcery. As Naruto pulled out the Mega book. 150,000, huh? That's a lot of money. Indeed, since you're associated with Konoha, the amount will be transferred to Konoha and you'll be able to collect your bounty from there. Acceptable, Kazekage-sama, said Naruto, as he bowed. Time skip. Naruto was back in his mindscape. So, what was all that about, he asked. Did you notice those purple eyes of his? The one that looked at me, said Naruto. Yes, his eyes. They're very special. How so, said Naruto. Those eyes, in possession of the right man, are the pinnacle of power. They were first wielded by the Sage of Six Paths, who used them to defeat the Ten Tails. Sage of Six Paths? Ten Tails? I thought that was just a myth, said Naruto. He is, or was, very real. However, that is not the point. If you notice, the Akatsuki was not sealing Shikaku away. They were putting his chakra into a bigger husk. The Gedo statue went completely. Absorb all 9-tailed beasts. Will resort back to what it once was. The 10 tails. The husk of the Gedo statue can only be summoned by one that wields the Rinnegan. I do not know about the others, but I do not wish to be contained inside of it, said Kurama. That is a rather ambitious dream you have, said Naruto. If those eyes are as strong as you say they are led me to believe, how do you expect me to beat him? Rinnegan is only half of the Sage power. The other half is his immense power due to his master of Sage mode. Sage mode? Like mine, said Naruto. Yes, you are the perfect rival for a bearer of the Rinnegan. The yin and the yang, if you want to imagine it that way. But your Sage mode is not like what the Sage's was. His has unrivaled strength. But I do not know the origin of those powers. The only possible way I can think of is him being the Jinchuriki of all the Bijus. Hence, I want you to collect a sliver of chakra from all the other beasts. If what I think is true, your body will be able to regenerate and balance that chakra to give you an enhanced Sage mode. And you think the others will cooperate, said Naruto. They certainly will not. Some of them may still believe in the idle man that the Sage said that will save them all. Shikaku only gave it to you because he's afraid of me, and honestly, he's dumb. But if it's necessary, you'll have to take it with force, not only for my survival, but for yours as well. Naruto looked towards his hands. I do not feel indifferent after absorbing Shikaku chakra though. I am not here to give away powers. I am the mediator between his powers and your chakra system. You will still have to prove your powers to me. Prove your worthiness. I will only release it in your chakra system when I deem you to be strong enough without it, said Kurama. Naruto sighed, yes. It all did sound a bit too sweet to be free. Well, nothing was free it seems. Meanwhile, it is quite rare to see you around nowadays, said Tsunade. Just think of me, and I'll be there in a blink, said Jiraiya. Shut it, you pervert. Why are you here anyways? Asked Tsunade. I have news about Orochimaru and his whereabouts. And, said Tsunade, I am planning to deal with him once and for all. But it's possible that he's not alone there, and has already replaced his right-hand man. And it's even possible that Uchiha is also with him as well. I don't know how strong they have gotten in these past 3 years, so I need a solid team for this mission, said Jiraiya. The Uchiha, said Tsunade. His teammate Sakura, if I'm not wrong, has been appealing to release a search squad for him. Maybe she will be good help for the mission. Her and the rest of Team 7 may be good help. Kakashi has surely grown strong at least. I am not taking Genin or tuning on this. This is at least a S rank. I was thinking more of the line of bringing Naruto along. Naruto has recently asked to be sent on a diplomatic mission to Kumo for convincing them for an alliance against the Akatsuki. So I'm afraid that he's unavailable at the moment, said Tsunade. That is certainly disappointing. Regardless, I want to see how much stronger he has gotten. Can I meet him after our discussion is over? Asked Jiraiya. Sure. He has moved in real close to my place. More often than not, he's at my place, said Tsunade. And why is that? Why has he moved so close, said Jiraiya. Well, his reason for moving was convenient of the training space, so he could be there rather quickly. But now it has become a really handy place for him and Shizune since they started to date. He's dating Shizune? Isn't she like 8 or 10 years older than him? As Tsunade raised the eyebrow, you leer at girls who could be your granddaughter. Well, I suppose I have no room to speak. Regardless, let us get back onto the topic, shall we? I will need a team, no doubt, he said. How about Kakashi and Yamato? Yamato? Jiraiya asks. The one who would release. Wasn't he not called Tenso before? Asked Jiraiya. He has been given several names. The current one is Yamato. I suppose that would be a solid team, said Jiraiya. Time skip. There was a knock. And another, as Jiraiya stood in front of Naruto's apartment, as he knocked for the 5th time but no one opened the door. Before he could tap on it once more, a voice came from inside. Yes, I'm coming. Stop knocking, said Naruto, as he opened said door. What do you want, he said. As Naruto looked disheveled, his red hair was messy, his t-shirt was missing, and his mood was rather sour. Oh, did I interrupt something, said Jiraiya. A grin formed on his face. Yes, you did, said Naruto, getting angry. What do you want? Well, I wanted to fight. Naruto slammed the door in his face before he completes that sentence. Jiraiya grumbled. Young, impatient brats not respecting their elders. He had to do some research anyway. Timeskip. Are you sure that you don't need anyone else? Asked Natty. Yes. We are not expecting any danger to begin with. And if push comes to shove, I'm sure that I can escape with Shizune, said Naruto. Oink. And Taunton, of course, said Naruto. Well, if you say so. Be careful. Of course. Both Shizune and Naruto said. Oink, said Taunton, as they left. Walking towards Iron Country, Naruto felt like he was on a vacation rather than a mission. There was a very lenient time after all, as him and Shizune held hands as they walked. As nighttime came as they set up camp for the night. Later that night, you can come out now, said Naruto. So, you can sense me, a voice said behind him. 4 chains shot from Naruto's back and ripped through the man's stomach. But to his surprise, the man did not bleed. As Naruto glanced behind him as he saw the 4 chains that pierced the man's stomach. As the man was dressed in the Akatsuki cloak, an orange mask on his face as Naruto jumped backwards. Don't worry, I'm not here to catch you yet. So why are you here then, said Naruto. I just want to see how well you have grown. And from the looks of it, you have grown pretty well. Why, thank you. Killing the likes of you has been my only motivation through and through, said Naruto. Do not misunderstand. You are hardly a match for me as things are right now. I am here to warn you. I know what you're trying to do. Stay away from our goal, and you will be the last one to die. Get in our way, and I'll finish you myself. Pretty big words you have there, said Naruto. Do you care to back it up? Not yet, no. As things are, you are necessarily alive right now. But remember, if you get in our way, I'll show you no mercy. The man sucked himself away in a swirling vortex that went into his eye and vanished. As Naruto spread his senses around, the man was completely gone. Time skip. They finally arrive. State your reason for visiting, said the guard at the gate. Kumo had the most gate guards that Naruto ever seen. 2 were visible and there were 10 hiding nearby. They had hidden well out of sight, but Naruto was a good sensor. He supposedly needed to sense emotion. On top of being a sensor type, was kinda cheating. We represent Konoha. We have a meeting scheduled with Raikage-sama, said Naruto. Uzumaki, Naruto, and Kaito Shizune, the guard questioned. As he looked at his book. Yes, said Naruto. Well then, please enter. These people will guide you to your room. We will let you know of your timings for your meeting. Very well. Kumo as a village was more modern than the others. Not technology-wise, but infrastructure-wise. There were several sky-high buildings connected by bridges. And all in all, it was a well-thought-out infrastructure. Please, do not leave the room unless you're asked to. Security reason, I hope you can understand. Their guide Shinobi said as they reached the room. Of course, said Naruto. Thank you for the hospitality. Time skip. What do you mean we can't join, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked, furious. It is a S-rank mission. No one but elite Jonins or high-ranking envoys are allowed to take those missions, said Kakashi, as he understood how she felt. But really, he could not do anything to justify Sakura and Choji being on this mission. As strong as his students had gotten, they were nowhere strong enough to stand in front of the likes of Orochimaru. But this is what we have been training for. I'm sure I can make him understand that what he's doing is wrong. Sakura said that she was unbelieving of the atrocity that Kakashi was speaking. Of course she was going to come to help bring Sasuke back. I know that, but I'm not the Hokage, Sakura. There is no way for me to justify your presence in an S-rank mission, he said, trying not to hurt her even more. Well then, I'll talk to the Hokage, she said. Explain her simple solution to solve this matter. Sakura, you should be just grateful that the Hokage has not orders to kill him. So just be grateful and don't make things worse, said Kakashi. Why would you want to kill him? He's a ninja of the Hidden Leaf, she said, completely shocked by that. Sakura, get this out of your head. He's not a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf anymore. He's currently working under, perhaps, the worst criminal produced by the Hidden Leaf. Do not make things any more difficult for him, or yourself. I will try my best to get him back. But if he's hell-bent on remaining a traitor, I will do what I must. As Kakashi flickered away, knowing that he had to make a tough choice if Sasuke was hell-bent on destroying or going against the Leaf with Orochimaru. Time skip. So, Jiraiya-sama, are you prepared? Kakashi asked. Yes, but this is gonna be hard. regardless of how prepared we are. Indeed, where's Yamato? Kakashi says as he glanced toward the tree suspiciously, and from the tree Yamato emerged. I was here on time, unlike the pair of you. Meh. You need to calm down, Yamato. We have a lot of time for this, said Kakashi. Time is something we hardly have, that sneak. Change is dense, as much as we change our clothes. My, we don't want to start this mission on a bad note, now do we, said Kakashi. Well, if you two are quite done your bickering, can we start with our journey? As both men nodded as they looked towards Jiraiya. So with that they took off to the trees. Time skip. There was a knock on the door. As Naruto approached it, yes, he said, open it. Lord Hokage has summoned you, the shinobi on the other end said. Sure, lead the way, said Naruto, as he moved out with Shizune. Moments later, a very good evening to you, Hokage-sama, said Naruto, as him and Shizune bowed their head. Good evening to you too as well. Have a seat, said the Hokage. Once they were settled, the Hokage started up again. So I heard that you want to make some sort of alliance, the Hokage said. Indeed, are you aware of the organization known as the Akatsuki? Yes, a bunch of S-rank freelancers, if I'm not mistaken, said the Hokage. Yes, correct to a certain extent. They used to be freelancers, but now, they have adopted a goal. They're trying to collect all Jinjulkis for a cause that I'm not aware of, but they are too dangerous to be left unwatched. Hence, I want to extend a formal offer as a representative of Konoha for an alliance to deal with the Akatsuki, said Naruto. As dangerous as a group of S-rank can be, I have complete trust in the powers of my village Jinjulki. They have gained control over their tail beasts, and they stand beyond any S-rank. I do not think that Konoha will be of any help to us in such an alliance, the Hokage said. The Hokage was going to live to regret those words, as he turned down that offer. Time skip, Yujito, who was the complete Jinjulki of the two-tailed Nebe, was confident enough to fight off anyone, and after returning back from the S-rank mission, she ran into two strangers wearing black cloaks with red clothes on them, who told her that she would have to come with them. One was a black-haired man who could use all 5 natures, and he just would not die. And the other one was just flying around, dropping bombs on her whenever he liked it. Even with the full might of the Nebe, there was nothing she could do. How she wished she had some summons who could work as a messenger. Back in the office, you seem pretty confident regarding your Jinjulki, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. I am. They are the strongest Jinjulki Kumo has produced till date, the Hokage said, rather proudly. I am the Jinjulki of the Kyuubi. With that power comes the title of sensing emotion, said Naruto. And on top of that, I'm a sensor. Do you know what I can sense right now, said Naruto. And what might that be, asked the Hokage. I can sense the chakra of Nebe being exerted, almost to the point of exhaustion now. The source of the Nebe chakra is feeling exhausted and afraid, and from the rate that is dropping, they're probably gonna die very soon, said Naruto. The Hokage cracked his fist in the decks. Where is she? He shouted. Naruto got to his feet. I am not obliged to share anything with someone that is not our ally, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. If that is all, we'll take our leave now. He looked towards the distant fast. Call B, he said, before he turned his gaze back to Naruto. You will tell me where she is right now. His envoy guards making their presence known, as electricity started to dance over his body. Naruto stepped between the Hokage and Shizune. You seem to be misunderstanding your position, Hokage-sama, he said. Purple chakra started to leak from his body. Your Jinjulki, perhaps your biggest village asset, is in danger right now, and I am your only way to her. If you want her location, you can officially enter in the tree by signing this paper, said Naruto, as he tossed the paper towards the man, or else we can leave. As Naruto released his full might of his sage chakra, dwarfing that of the Hokage. At that, the spark from the Hokage's body vanished. Fine, he said. Get me the ink, he said, as one of his envoys quickly get him the ink. As he signed the paper. Now where is she? He shouted. Checking that everything was official, Naruto spoke. 25 kilometers down south. In a second, the window was smashed open as the Hokage leaped right out. As Naruto picked Shizune up in his arms before he flickered away towards the fighting scene for his own agenda. Reaching on the battlefield with the Hokage, they analyzed the scene. A guy with black hair was about to slam his fist into a blonde girl that was covered in blue chakra. Perhaps a knockout hit from what it looked like. In a split second, Naruto chain dropped around the girl's waist. The Hokage fist crashed into the man's face. As Naruto placed Shizune down and pulled the girl over towards him. As she was unconscious, Of course, no one noticed Nibi chakra returning through Naruto's chain going into his back. Once the chakra was secure, Naruto's hand started to glow green as he started to heal the wounds on her body. "Shizune, please take over. I will have to join the fight," said Naruto. Of course, she said as her hands started to glow green as well. As Naruto flashed beside the Hokage, "I suppose this will be our first fight against the Akatsuki as allies," Hokage-sama said Naruto. Yeah, just get on with it," Hokage said, grumbling a bit as he was really pissed off at these people trying to take his Jinchuriki. Before the fight could start, a man with shades jumped down as he crashed right on the ground in front of them. Yo, he said. "You know my name, you know my fame. Don't you be lame. 8 tails, that is me, the rapping killer B." His other target, Naruto thought, as he sensed a pool of chakra inside of B. "Stop it, B. This is serious," Hokage said, with a scowl on his face. 3 Jinchurikis at one place, I suppose. "We have dug a gold mine, Kakuzu," said Deidara, as he jumped down from his bird. "I suppose," said Kakuzu. As the place became thick with tension, as the battle was about to begin, deciding that revealing his skills was really not necessary. In front of possible enemies, Naruto jumped back. As the moment he did, lariats! Both B and the Hokage shouted, as they took Deidara from both sides. But unfortunately for them, the Deidara that they hit turned to clay before exploding. Having speed as forte, the Hokage flickered away from the blast area, and B simply tanked the hit. "Kakuzu, this is more dangerous than I thought," said Deidara. "Shall we retreat?" As he flew on his clay bird. As much fun as he thought it wasn't fun after all. That was the Hokage and the perfect Jinchuriki, and not to mention the other one as well. This is a golden opportunity. 3 Jinchurikis and 4 bounties. This is not the time to retreat. Black threads erupting from his joints. "You sound greedy. We don't need the 8 tails or 9 tails right now." "Shut up and fight," Kakuzu said. As he moved towards B, his thread shotting out. B was able to dodge all of them easy enough. Earth style. Earth grudge armor. As he formed an invisible armor over his body. Now that Kakuzu was certain of his, durability, he rushed towards B. B threw several blades in the air as he caught each and every one of them. As weird as his stance looked, it was effective. Everything that Kakuzu threw, B was able to counter it, and also damage the man as well. He was like a spinning gig. As B slammed 2 of his blades through Kakuzu's heart. "My fight is done, yo. Do you need some help with yours, bro?" B questioned, before the 8 tails told him to move, which he did. As he was nearly slammed right into, he jumped back. "Huh? I killed your body and saw the blood pool. How are you alive, you fool, said B. Kakuzu started to shake as his body burst open while the back, as 4 monster structures emerged. They were made up of the threads that he was using, each with a different mask on their face, as one of the masks fell down and died. "You took away my earth heart. Now, you will compensate for it," said Kakuzu. Fire style, wind style, as he combined the 2 attacks. Seeing the massive hell flame coming towards him, B went through hands of his own. Water style, water wall, he said, as the 2 attacks collided with tremendous force. As a lightning charged blade ripped through the smoke and tear through one of the masses, as it fell down to the ground dead. Earth style, earth wall, said Naruto, as he built the earth wall between the attack and B, as Kakuzu had launched a lightning attack right as one of his other masks fell. As B stayed behind the wall as the electricity shocked it rather viciously, until a swirling sound could be heard. Kakuzu felt something grind into his back as Naruto Rasengan teared through his other heart. Seeing that his master was in danger, the winged heart flew down and went into Kakuzu, spiking his threads out to make Naruto move back. B leaped over a said wall that Naruto created as his body was cloaked in red chakra as he landed, cracking the ground as he did, before he shot towards Kakuzu. Kakuzu was now regretting getting into this fight as he was viciously hacked by B. He now had 1 heart left, his fire heart, fire style. "Fireball jutsu," he said, trying to make a diversion to get away. Naruto knew that B could dodge the attack easily enough, but this was his chance to get Jaiki's chakra, so he shot his chain forward and wrapped around B, pulling him out of the way while his chain absorbed some of the chakra into his system. Before he flashed in front of the man, Kakuzu was shocked at the speed, and that was the last thing that he saw, as Naruto reared his fist back before he slammed it into his chest. The force of the punch destroyed his heart. A super enhanced punch just like Tsunade, crushing his final heart, killing him. As for the Hokage, he was an all-brawl fighter, and he could not get up in the sky with Deidara. So he started to do as best as he could, but he just couldn't get up there. Hoping that B would end his fight and come and assist him because B could get this guy from where he was. But the moment Deidara saw that Kakuzu fell, he ran, knowing that he would have died as well. "What took you so long, B?" the Hokage said when B arrived on the scene. The fool wouldn't lay down. I had to force him to stay down. The man had 5 hearts, he just wouldn't die. It was so hard, B said. "The other one escaped," the Hokage said, the growl. "You should be happy your Jinchuriki is safe, Hokage-sama. Shizune is probably done healing her." "Where is she?" the Hokage said. "Back in the woods," said Naruto. "Let us get there," he said. As they arrive, "Is she fine, Shizune?" Naruto asks. "Yes, most of her injuries are healed by the Bichu inside of her. I treated her superficial injuries," said Shizune. "That is good. Is she stable though?" said Naruto. "Mostly. She's suffering from severe chakra exhaustion. She's fine, but she will be okay in a week." "Carry her, B," said the Hokage. "I must thank the pair of you for the help you provided." "It's our pleasure to help our ally," said Naruto. Yes. Don't remind me of that," the Hokage said. Meanwhile that was going on, another epic battle was taking place. A laughter could be heard from the menace and Orochimaru himself. "Now, Jiraiya, you can either retreat and save little Yamato, or fight me and cause his death." Jiraiya wanted to finish Orochimaru off right now, but Sasuke had managed to hurt Yamato while Kakashi was distracted by Orochimaru's summons. That was not to say that Yamato was the only one that had injuries at the moment. All 5 men were bleeding. But as things were right now, he could order Kakashi to leave with Yamato. But that would lead to Sasuke either trying to catch up with them or joining forces with Orochimaru to kill him. He was sure that he could take on Orochimaru with a sliver of help, could change the tides. "Fine. Kakashi, carry Yamato," he said. "Do not think this is the end, Orochimaru. We will meet again the next time. It will be you and me." "Of course, Jiraiya-kun. I'll be waiting for you to catch up, like always." With that, him and Sasuke retreated. Meanwhile, have you read all the conditions of the agreement again, said Naruto? "Yes, I have," said the Hokage. "As per the agreement that we have, we will send all information regarding Akatsuki, and Konoha will do the same." "Yes, I am already carrying all the information that we have," said Naruto, as he offered the Hokage a scroll. "I see. I will try to have the data gathered by today afternoon. You can rest in your hotel by that time." "Thank you for your compliance and hospitality, Hokage-sama," said Naruto, as he got to his feet. "Don't sweat it," the Hokage said. As Naruto and Shizune left the office, "Do you think Tsunade-sama will agree on how you let him sign the agreement?" said Shizune. "She will probably laugh it off," said Naruto, as he wasn't much concerned about the consequences. He had already gained a lot from this mission. Firstly, there was an Akatsuki member who could go intangible. Secondly, he had gotten 2 more Bichus, chakra. And thirdly, he got much more time to spend with Shizune. "I don't think so," Shizune said, her elbow hitting his stomach playfully, "but it was definitely cool," she said. "You think so?" said Naruto, with a grin on his face. "No, I was only kidding," she said, as she tried to control her laughter. "Well then, Miss Funny," said Naruto, "shall we head to our room?" "I suppose we can," she said. Later that day with Kurama. "That makes 4 now," said Naruto. "Yes, 4 indeed. But do you think you can get to the others before the Akatsuki does?" said Kurama. "You know that you being near the right time was just a coincidence, right?" "Well, I can only try my best," said Naruto. "I'm going to request to be present on every Bijo-related mission though." "That would certainly help," said Kurama. "Do you think I will have to go rogue if the Hokage find out what I'm doing?" said Naruto. "Humans have margin on what they regard good or bad. It looked like you're trying to take over your village or the elemental nation to what you're doing at the moment though." "I see," said Naruto with a sigh. Back at Konoha sometime later. "With the enthusiasm that you showed before the mission, I expect to see Orochimaru head on my table when you got back." "We don't have his, but we could save Yamato's." "Is that not enough?" said Jiraiya. "Don't make me sound like a villain. I did not issue the mission. Regardless, what of the Uchiha? He's gotten a lot stronger. He's somewhat of a rival in Kakashi's strength now, but I don't think he can defeat Kakashi just yet. But he had certainly grown from the strong and genuine that he was." Tsunade sighed. "That's another headache," she said. "Everything will come around as it should," eventually Jiraiya said, as optimistic as ever. "You would think that, wouldn't you?" How about you try to sit on this chair then, she asked. Now, we can talk like mature people, can't we, he said, with a smile on his face. Well, it turns out she didn't want to talk like a mature lady, so she punched him through the window. Time skip. You actually got him to stand treaty. Huh. I wasn't expecting that, said Tsunade. To her, the fourth Hokage was the most childish of all the Kages. The only way to convince him about anything is to prove that you're strong. And according to him, if you're very strong, you are right. His approach was unique, but it worked nonetheless, said Shizune. Unique how? Asked Tsunade. He blackmailed the Hokage into signing the treaty, Shizune said. Tsunade raised the eyebrow at that. Blackmail's a heavy term. I gave him an offer which he could not refuse. And what would that offer be? Asked Tsunade. I offered to tell him the location of his Daijin Julke in exchange of him signing the treaty. It sounds fair to me, said Naruto. Sounds fair. To me as well, said Tsunade. Well, anyways, the mist has requested our help in sealing the three-tailed turtle that has resurfaced inside the lake. And do we have a team ready? Naruto asks. No, there is no one that can suppress a tail beast chakra like you. I wanted to send Jiraiya and you on the mission, but Jiraiya is currently unavailable at the moment. You can just give me a proper team with a preset, seal and array. I think we can do it without Jiraiya, said Naruto. That is indeed what I was thinking, but I have to make sure of it. And know that you have confirmed it. I can be sure, she said. What will be my team, and when do we leave? Naruto asks. I do not know yet. I'll have the team ready soon enough and let you know. Till then, you have some time to rest. As Naruto nodded. Meanwhile, we are facing severe losses, Nagato, said Tobi. How many times have I told you not to refer to me with that name, said Pain. That is of no concern, Pain. We have bigger issues to deal with. We have not a single tailed beast in our possession. Yes, I know. I will have Itachi and Kisame retrieve the one-tailed beast. You and Deidara go for the three tails, while I go to Kumo for the 2 and 8 tails, said Pain. I suppose that will put us on pace. The 9-tailed Jinjuli has been a big thorn in our side though. Indeed, I don't think anyone in our ranks, other than you and I, can capture him. Yes, that is why you will capture him personally. And with that he disappeared in a swirling vortex back in his eye. Do you trust him, Nagato? A woman emerged, and she had an origami flower on her head, light blue hair, and honey brown eyes. I do not, but he's helping us further our goal. I'm just worried that he's playing a bigger game, the woman said. Do not worry, Conan. If he tries anything, I'll kill him myself. I suppose, she said. Time skip. After their recent battle, Sasuke noticed something. So that is why he was now enacting his plan. As his lightning covered blade pierced through Orochimaru's hands. There is nothing more that you can teach me, Orochimaru. For the weakest of the Uchihas, you speak a bit too boldly, Orochimaru said in a hiss. Look at you call yourself legendary. You are nothing without your borrowed power. You will never defeat Itachi without my help, Orochimaru said, taunting Sasuke. I am stronger than you now, said Sasuke. The flames of the curse mark forming over his face. You came after me because you could not get Itachi. Isn't that the reason? You wanted the Uchiha body so that you could extend your pathetic life. Isn't it not? Well, as a Uchiha, when I see you, all I see is an untalented worm clinging to its pathetic existence. As he pushed his blade in Orochimaru's neck. But Orochimaru's body burst into what it really was. A massive white snake with smaller snakes making it up. Give me your body, he said, launching towards Sasuke. Trying to switch bodies, trying to survive against all odds, knowing that the way of nature itself is against you at all odds, said Sasuke. He sliced up the snake before he pulled on the clothing that he was wearing, exposing the wings that emerged on his back. Your body will be mine, Orochimaru says. He launched himself, unwilling to give up. There is no jutsu that comes close to killing a perfect being like myself, Orochimaru said. Sasuke sliced him down until the place started to get red as a strange mist was leaking from Orochimaru's blood. As Sasuke was now trapped inside of a domain with a fleshy substance covering him, this is where the ritual will begin. And your eyes will be mine. The voice of Orochimaru says he materialized in front of Sasuke. Sorry, your tricks don't work on me, said Sasuke. Time skip. At Konoha, the atmosphere in the office was serious. Team 7, along with Neji and Jinma, along with Naruto, were given the job of sealing Isobu. Neji will be your scout, Team 7 the frontline attackers, and Genma and Naruto will do the sealing. You will be under the leadership of Kakashi, followed by Genma and Naruto if things go wrong, said Tsunade. Understood, Hokage-sama. When do we leave, said Kakashi. By today afternoon. Since the three tails have not been seen till now, you have a time frame of 5 days until you reach your destination. Make sure to not overexert yourself while traveling. The chance of things going wrong in the sealing is very high. Who will be the vessel, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. I told you before, your task is to seal the beast inside the lake that it has emerged into, so the Akatsuki cannot take it away until the mist choose a perfect vessel. And we will be using the 4-point seal in a race, said Genma. I'll leave the technicalities to you, said Naruto. Time skip. Deciding that it was not worth his chakra to summon multiple owls to carry everyone, seeing that they had a lenient time schedule, Naruto decided to follow in the formation that Kakashi had set for them. The journey to the mist was quite awkward and quiet. Neji just wants some isolation. Sakura was, well, she had some problems. Choji was quite content eating his food. Genma was chewing his senbon. Kakashi was happily reading his book. And Naruto was perfectly happy where he was. So no one is having no conversation, and no one is daring to start one in such silence. Kakashi on the other hand decided to break it. So he said, stopping everyone as he came to a stop. We can take a good rest now, he said, as he had been traveling for some time now. He turned towards Choji. Set the camps up with Sakura, he said. Genma, set up the traps with Neji. Naruto and I will go and get some food. As the group nodded. Time skip. Shall we catch some fishes, Naruto asks. I don't have any rods, and I'm not in the mood of getting wet in such cold temperatures, said Kakashi. Just as he said that, a chain came from Naruto's back and looked at Kakashi. It gave him a look, even though it didn't have a face. It was like it was taunting him to say, are you stupid? It is too blunt to catch a fish, said Kakashi. The moment he said that, it became pointed. A sweat drop came on his face. I suppose you're doing most of the work then, as Naruto merely hummed. Just when they reached towards the river, several chains emerged from his back and started to do their work. Hokage-sama recently told me about your parents, said Kakashi. Why would she trust you with that information, said Naruto. The fourth was my sensei, your parentage, was kept a secret because of the risks that came for being the son of Yellow Flash, said Kakashi. And why are you telling me then, said Naruto. I was told that your son had died. I was really angry at the third when I was told the truth. If things were ideal, I would have probably raised you. Well, things are not ideal, said Naruto. They hardly are, and there's nothing that we can do to change that. Indeed, but thinking of the ideal scenario is a pleasing activity, said Kakashi. I have to disagree with that. Thinking of the ideal scenario would make you lose grip on reality, said Naruto. Care to explain these thoughts of yours, said Kakashi. I could think of endless scenarios to make my life better, but of thinking there will come chances of me trying to make these scenarios reality in this unfulfilling world, and that would just be a disaster. And why do you say that, Kakashi asks. Let us say the fourth had survived and convinced the village that I was this hero that is holding back the nine-tailed beast, and I got all the love and respect I ever wanted. That would make me want to become strong for their safety and not my goals. While that would be a good decision in my dreamful life, if I apply this in the world that we now live in, that would make people walk all over me, said Naruto. That is surprisingly really well thought out, said Kakashi. But learning to tell the difference between this world and a fake world is a rather basic thing, he said. That is for someone who has a slow-paced life. For someone that is assured that you wake up next day. People like us, who may die at any moment, tend to strive towards perfection as soon as possible. And in such a hurry, the lines of reality and fiction, they blur together. Or maybe I'm just stupid, and I don't understand the standard outlook, said Naruto. Maybe you're right, maybe you're not. But you should not change your outlook for a general belief, said Kakashi. I haven't, and I won't, said Naruto. Time skip. The newly formed Akatsuki duo of Tobi and Deidara were making their way towards the lake on Deidara's bird. Deidara was really happy to work with the senior members of the Akatsuki, but no. He was stuck with this childish brat. Senpai, there are people ahead. I see, said Deidara in a thinking pose. What's the plan, Senpai? Tobi asks, in a high-pitched tone. I will do the fight and you will do the scouting. Woohoo! I will cheer on Deidara, Senpai, said Tobi. as the group fly down towards where it said turtle was. But at the moment though, Naruto and his team were down there. It had taken them 3 days to reach the mist, and another 3 days to reach the site where the beast was residing. How are we gonna do this? Naruto questioned Kurama. I'm sure we can talk though with Aisabu. Just touch him, and I'll pull him in the mindscape. If you say so, said Naruto. The turtle shell started to rise out of the water. I will rush and calm it down before things go bad, said Naruto, as he moved forward. Alright, everyone, prepare for any sort of failure, said Kakashi. Just as the turtle shell became visible, Naruto changed shot forward. As they were both pulled into the mindscape. Am I jailed already? The gigantic turtle said. You are not. At least yet not. Kurama? Said Aisabu. Indeed. There's something I want to talk to you about. And what might that be? Aisabu asks. The Gedo statue has been summoned once again. And the one who has summoned it has the eyes of father. Is he that man then? Aisabu said, wondering if what the father said to them was no happening. No. The man is trying to recreate the Joby by sealing our chakra into the husk, said Kurama. Well then, it should not take long for the man that father told us about to show himself now, said Aisabu in hope. Have you not waited enough? Accept his father is dead, and no one will look out for us now. I have chosen my Jinjulki as the one worthy for the sage's power. I hope you remember what your contribution be in that, said Kurama. I would rather not. I am perfectly content waiting a bit longer for the man that father told us about. I do not care if you're content or not. I am not willing to get absorbed and become a mindless tool of destruction while you're waiting. Either you depart from your chakra willingly, or we force it out of you. Kurama growled angrily. But guys, the end subs right here. If you want to see this person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay tuned for the show that's coming your way. I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.